There is a internet phenomenon called Grandma Party Line. It's a phone number that you call and you leave a voicemail for this grandma. This is just sort of, I think, like a background video of what we're talking about.
This iceberg goes in depth on some of the internet's most disturbing websites. GrandmaPartyHotlines.com. Going on to GrandmaPartyHotlines.com will bring you to this page where you see a spinning black triangle with the hotline phone number written all over it. If you call the hotline, you will hear this voicemail play to you from supposedly your grandma. Let's listen.
Hello, welcome to the Grandma Party Hotline. It's so good to hear from you. I missed you so much. Please leave me a message or give me a phone. Oh, how I love to hear from you.
Let's listen to some of Grandma Party Hotline, and just to get a feel for what we're dealing with.
Grandma, this is your grandson. You kind of left me in the Walmart parking lot, and I can't seem to find you. Please come pick me up. It's getting dark out. Give me a call back. Thanks.
This is basically everyone in the world can call and leave a message for their grandma.
I think we have grandma here.
We have grandma. Yeah, we do have grandma. Hi, grandma.
Hello.
Hi, grandma.
How are you, grandma? When did you start this? Where did the idea come from?
As you can guess, this started in Florida. This is a Florida thing. Around like 2005 when I was going to college. And for whatever reason, everyone started calling all of their weed grandma as like a code word. And it wasn't a good code word because it didn't really make sense. All these college kids obsessed with their grandmas all the time. Eventually there would be grandma parties. And then weirdly, those parties evolved into grandma events. And there would be like a grandma party yard sale. And then eventually there'd be grandma party bazaars, which were like everyone would sell items and bands would play all day. And if you look in Orlando, there's still grandma party bazaars going on to this day. There's like third generation grandmas still doing this weird thing.
That is so weird.
I was kind of like adjacent to these people, and I was like, hey, I have this idea for a hotline that I was inspired by the They Might Be Giants had like dial a song where you would call a phone number and you would hear a song. And I wanted to do the reverse of that, where you would call and leave a song.
Okay.
And so I kind of went to this council of grandmas and I asked permission to make a grandma party hotline, and they gave me permission, and they also hooked me up with this grandma who's on the voicemail. I don't know who she is, but she's a
I love the council of grandmas. I mean, what was that like?
It's just, the top grandmas, like you don't just step on their toes and start a hotline.
I got you, yeah.
Get permission. It was just like our friends goofing off with each other, and I would post messages. And then eventually we all kind of moved away. I'd get a message every once in a while, but I'd always think about shutting it down. But then I thought, okay, let me put an ad in the Village Voice and sort of see what that does. So then I got like all the real hardcore like perverts calling.
What did the ad say? Like what category was the ad in?
Whatever the cheapest thing you could buy in the Village Voice was. Like it must have been just like, I don't know if it was a personal or what. It must have been cheap. It probably was just like grandma party hotline and then a number. Like I don't think I would write much more than that.
You have to think on two levels here, which is like, I'm reading the Village Voice. I'm like deep in it. Like I'm deep in it looking at what numbers to call, and I see it. Like you are getting a very niche clientele from this, right?
Yeah, I knew what I was asking for a little bit. And then that was really exciting for a while. Just like people calling in and saying horrible things and masturbating and whatever. That was fun for a bit, but I kind of like would always shelve it because I would, have a life, and running a party hotline is not, top of my priorities. But so then I started noticing getting calls every day. I'm like, what is going on? And I look on Google, and somehow I ended up on the first page of results for party hotlines. So if you just search the word party hotline, grandma party hotlines are right there on the front page. That's when it became like, okay, every day I'm constantly getting calls now. And that's pretty much how it went viral.
Are most of them just people dicking around, or have you gotten like people kind of like trying to talk to their dead grandma or anything like that?
I would say 90% is like, dick stuff, like saggy titties, like grandma, I love your saggy titties, whatever. But then there's definitely like, a 2-3% of people like very sad about the grandmas.
Obviously, you are not a full-time grandma, so you are doing other things.
Yeah.
So are you, what we're hearing, these are like the best of the best, the cream of the crop, or are you putting everything up?
I'm definitely curating it, but I think you can tell as time goes on, I'm curating more carefully, like whereas in the early messages, it'd be exciting if someone just called and like, scream something. I'd be like, oh my God, this is amazing. But now I'm kind of like, oh, you need to really go with the premise. Like, I need to believe you're calling a grandma. It's a real test of everyone's improv skills. And you really learn how little improv ability most of the world has. They just call up and they freeze, they just go to something crude.
It's a one-sided improv conversation because you can make this grandma a vicious grandma, you can make her a sweet grandma, you can make her a senile grandma. I love this idea.
Why do you want to be anonymous? Because you want to keep this illusion going that this is a grandma and we shouldn't know who's behind it. Like most people, it seems like would be like, well, this is like, as it gets big, people would want to take credit for it or whatever. You don't have any interest in that. Yeah,
I mean, I don't know how far you could take a grandma party hotline.
Right. Yeah. You don't see business in it.
And, I also in parallel have my own kind of career, and so it turns out I don't need it for that.
What was the most shocking message? I mean, obviously people are jerking off and doing stuff like that, but like, what was one that like took you by surprise?
I think we might even have it in the selects, but someone recently did a prank phone call as a message.
Hello, this is the Grandma Party Hotline. How can I help you? Ma'am, would you like to respond? Is there anything specific we can help you with today?
Would you like to rent one of our grandmas?
She can throw parties. She can set up party favors. Or if you want to get a little freaky, we have grandmas ranging from 50 to 100. You can rent one any day, only for 50 cents. Some are more expensive than others, though, so you have to keep in mind that.
Are you having a good time?
Would you like to rent a grandma?
Are you having a good time?
Yes.
Sounds like it.
Now, would you like to rent a grandma?
No, I'm good.
Then why did you call?
You called me 4 times. Getting kind of aggravating.
All right, this is the manager of the Granny Hotline. Why did you call us 4 times? It's not very nice. If you're that eager, you could have gone to our website.
I love they did a full piece.
They just called a random person.
A lot of like the young people who call are like in like this calling frenzy. Sometimes I have heard them put me on another hotline. Like I'm listening to other hotlines.
But yet there's no voice on your side. They created like a whole nother story, like a rental service. I love this.
Like, how do people find out about this now?
I've been pretty laid back about it, but I guess it ended up on some Reddit list for most disturbing websites. And that's, which is, what an honor. Like,
what a great thing.
By the way, what's so interesting about it is it's not disturbing. I think that some people feel like it's creepy, but is it creepy? Like you can choose to make it creepy or you can choose to make it sweet. Like it's almost like one of those pictures. It's like, am I looking at Abraham Lincoln or am I looking at a naked woman? Like it's like your perspective, dictates what you're seeing. I always use that as my only example about the way that you can view art.
You love the Abraham Lincoln reference. You love that.
I saw there was Webby Awards. There's like a weird website category, like $100 or something. So I'm like, I'll submit for that. And we got nominated for a Webby for weirdest website, but I lost to NASA and the NASA, which I have kind of a beef with NASA because I don't really get why here we go. Yeah, look at this. So exoplanet exploration, planets beyond our solar system. Weird, I don't know. I think maybe not. And then I lost also to the Rotten Apples, which is like a sexual assault search engine for movies.
Whoa.
Which, to me is maybe a little heavier than like weird.
Yeah, these are weird. Yeah.
So this is me officially talking shit about the Webbies, like what's going on here? I should have won one of those. Okay, maybe I get it. NASA, your pump NASA is like helping you out with the social media or whatever. But, give me the other award.
What is like your kind of goal with it? Like, do you just want to continue to fuck with people? I mean, it's not really fucking with people, but it's like, it's sort of just like an art project in a way. It's like, it's kind of like a cool, like sort of like a sociological experiment or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna keep it going for now. Just keep it anonymous and do kind of like a QAnon kind of vibe, like like I kind
Grandmas, I love it. Take it over.
The QAnon got kind of less fun once we found out it was that one guy, Ron Watkins or whatever,
Yeah.
from the documentary. He was like, "Oh, okay, I guess it's cool we know," but
okay.
I'd like to just try to keep it as anonymous and keep the website as blank as possible, so it just feels like this like back alley of the internet.
Yeah.
I love this. I think it's a great idea. I'm so happy to anonymously meet you. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, Grandma. Nice to meet you, Grandma.
Good get, Rob. That was fun.
Isn't that crazy?
It
really does feel like a little something percolating up from like the belly, the underside of the internet. Like
sweet,
something
fun internet, like the way that the internet should be, right? It's
but
like
also, but could also be dark and weird if it's people jerking off and whatever. Yeah.
But I think it's like it is whatever you want it to be. Like I said, it's like naked Abraham Lincoln. Which, by the way, when I typed in naked Abraham Lincoln, I got this, and I want to show it to you right now, which is.
I hope it's not a big dick. But,
just Abraham Lincoln. They're just being naked.
It seems like Abraham Lincoln would have a pretty big dong. Am I wrong?
I would hope.
That? I don't know. Historically,
that's what he always, well, that's the reason why he had a big hat. He would put his dong in it.
I didn't know that.